Hey, good morning, everyone. Mark, your motivation dealer, back with you this morning on a Friday morning. Happy Friday, everyone. All right, today, episode 287. Today, we're talking about, this one's going to confuse you, this one's going to shock you, but failure is an option. It's giving up and quitting, that's not. So, you have to understand one thing about failure. Failure is an event. It's not a personality trait. You are not a failure if something bad happens. You are not a failure if you fail. If you fail, that is a learning opportunity. That is a teaching opportunity. That's an opportunity to learn from your mistakes. I like to go back to when we're children and we're learning to walk. Imagine if a mother was trying to teach their kid to walk and the kid falls down and hurts themselves. Imagine if the mother ever said, well, you know what, that's not really a safe activity, let's not have you do that, so just continue to crawl, don't worry about walking, just crawl the rest of your life. No, we learn from those failures. The failure is a part of success. Failure is what drives you to success. You need the failures to become successful. You need the failures to learn. You need the failures to grow. You need the failures to teach you to become a better version of yourself. So failure is an option. It's giving up, it's quitting. That is not the option. So I can fail over and over and over again in building my Rentec business. And have. Unfortunately, I have. But, I can fail many, many times, and I can realize that I need to do something different. I need to change my plan or my model or my goals. I need to change the trajectory of what I'm trying to do. I have to readjust and, reinvent. I have to become more creative. I have to solve more problems. I have to become a solution provider, which is what I call all of my sales agents. We're solution providers. So I have to be the best solution provider to build my company and be able to provide what my sales agents need, our solution providers. I need to provide them what they need to be able to do their job and for them to be able to sell our products and have our company grow. Right? So failure is part of the process. Get knocked down, get back up. Get punched in the mouth, get knocked down, get back up. It's part of the process. So always remember, you are not a failure. If you trained your whole life for the Olympics and you only won a silver medal, you didn't get that gold, you are not a failure. Getting that silver is what will drive you and push you and help you train harder, better, and prepare you more for the next Olympic Games where you can win that gold, right? We'll use some examples that I know of, that I've heard about both this morning and other mornings. Michael Jordan had to get cut from his high school team to become the Michael Jordan that we know. He got cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine that basketball coach who passed on Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan had to become a better version of himself. He had to learn new skills. He had to improve to make the team. And then when he made the team, he had to prove that he was good enough to be there. And then he had to prove himself at North Carolina. And then he had to prove himself when he first came into the NBA. And then he had to prove himself a champion after winning multiple NBA championships. So he still had to grow. He still had to learn. And going back to the failure concept, he himself mentions he had to miss 9,000 shots in his career, and he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So, failure is an event. It is not you. You are not a failure. It's what happened to you. It's what you tried to accomplish, new skill you tried to learn, whatever. You failed. Okay, so what? You failed. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, try again. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, try again. Knock on a door, get that door slammed in your face, try again. Knock on another door, knock on another door, knock on another door. You get told no? Great. That no is one step closer to getting a yes. Failure is part of success. Failure is part of the process. You cannot grow. You cannot become the best version of yourself without going through what diamonds go through. You know, if you want to go from being a lump of coal into a diamond, into a beautifully shaped and crafted diamond, you've got to go through intense heat. You've got to go through intense pressure. And then after you're finally sparkling, for you to become really that diamond that you want to be, then you have to be cut. You have to be cut and shaped into that beautiful diamond that you want to develop into. So, remember, failure is part of the process. You are going to fail. You are going to misstep. You are going to take steps back. I had a great saying that Eric Thomas uses, and this one is so powerful when you hear him talk about it. So incredibly powerful. He says, look, there's times where God is going to pull you back. He's pulling you back. You're going to go backwards. But the more he pulls you back, the further you're going to go when he lets you go. Imagine a slingshot. The further he pulls you back, the greater you're going to soar, the greater you're going to fly, the greater distance you're going to travel. You're going to get to where it is that you want to go. So the more God pulls you back, the more you're going to slingshot forward into, the atmosphere, into altitudes that you never thought were humanly possible. So, and he says it a lot more eloquently than I do. But let's use some other examples just to kind of keep you seeing how failure is part of the process. J.K. Rowling's was turned down by 12 different publishers before the first Harry Potter book was approved. And I forget the gentleman's name, and it's killing me that I can't remember off the top of my head, but he wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. Chicken Soup for the Soul was actually two guys, but Jack Canfield, that's it. So Jack Canfield, and I think he wrote it with a partner. But Jack Canfield went to over 100 publishers before anyone was willing to pick up a set of short stories that became Chicken Soup for the Soul, which is the most published book in history. Short of maybe the Bible, of course, but the most published book in the most languages all across the world, and 100 publishers turned him down. When you look at sports, we talked about Michael Jordan. Well, Hank Aaron struck out twice as many times as the number of home runs that he hit. Reggie Jackson has the most strikeouts in Major League Baseball history, but nobody remembers Reggie Jackson for the strikeouts. They remember him for the home runs he hit in the big moments when the team needed him most. So failure is part of the process. It's part of and you just can't quit because you're a failure. It's the only thing that makes you a failure is giving up. And that's why failure is an option. Quitting or giving up is not. The only thing that will prevent you, the only thing that will prevent me from turning Rentec into the billion-dollar company that I know it's going to be, is me. I don't care how many setbacks. I don't care how much money I lose. I don't care how many people come and go. I don't care how many agents fail to make sales. I don't care how many training programs I implement and fail. I don't care how many relationships I create that go belly up. None of those things matter, because as long as I'm persistent, as long as I keep pushing on, as long as I keep moving forward, and as long as I do not let my company die, as long as I don't give up, I will be successful. Rentec will be successful. It will be the greatest renewable technology company on the planet. It will be the most well-known company on earth. Renewable technology company. I don't know that we'll be bigger than Apple or Amazon or whatever, Google. Microsoft. But we will be the biggest and greatest renewable technology company on earth. And the only way that doesn't happen is if I give up. The only way that doesn't happen is if I quit. I say, I tried everything and I give up. First of all, if you tried everything, you wouldn't fail, right? At some point, you're going to find something that works. It's virtually impossible for you to try everything and have it fail. If you've tried 100 things, that means you maybe have to try another 100 things before you find the one that works. So you have to be willing to fail over and over and over again, but you cannot quit. You cannot give up. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep fighting. Because eventually you're going to come out on top if you have the resiliency, if you have the persistence, if you have the stubbornness, you will come out on top. No one can beat the tortoise that just keeps going. As slow as the tortoise moves, when it just keeps going, it's going to outrace any animal. It's going to outrace the rabbit, right? It's going to win the race, because slow and steady wins the race. And so no matter how long it takes me to build Rentec into that $1 billion company, however long it takes is how long it takes. I mean, do I want it to be 6 months from now? Of course. Do I want it to be a year from now? Of course. But the reality is it might not take that long. But the only way it fails, the only way is by quitting. That's it. It's the only thing that can make that company fail. It's too great an idea. It's too badly needed all around the world. There are too many people that need our services, that need what we're providing the world, for me to give up on it. It's my calling, it's my destiny, it's the what I was put on this earth to do at this point in my life. Oral surgery early on, now it's Rentec. Now it's being in service to others and helping other people as much as I can, as my way of thanking God and the world or the universe, or whatever you believe, for giving me a really abundant life. So now it's my time to give back, and Rentec is my opportunity to give back. And when I say it's going to be $1 billion company, that's not so that I can become a billionaire. Yes, I think that'll happen in the process too. But it has to become $1 billion company, because if Rentec becomes $1 billion company, then 10% of all company profits go to charity. So that means that I can donate a shit ton of money and help a ton of people get into homes and get clean water and, reverse climate change and provide clean energy to underdeveloped areas. All of these things, cure starvation. I mean, huge things that we're fighting. We're fighting climate change. We're fighting the affordable housing crisis. We're fighting the water crisis. We're fighting starvation. All of these things that are so vitally important to the success of our planet and our world. And without Rentec, it's not going to be as good a place. So I know that I have to keep going. No matter how bad things look, no matter how hard things get, I have to keep going. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope I inspired you this morning. I hope I motivated you a little bit to go out and take action. Remember, failure is an option. Quitting is not. So go out and fail often, fail forward, and never ever give up, never quit. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you on Monday morning. Like, share, and comment as always.